Bengals hire some new coaches, and me and Zim perform the mock offseason coming up next on the Wincinnati podcast.
It's an exciting time to be a Bengals fan.
I'm Ace. Zim.
We got a special show as always.
The voice of the Bengals.
Dan
Ford, Willie Anderson, Corey Dillon.
The name of this thing is called Wincinnati, and I'm not going to stop.
Talk to us about that roller coaster season.
I'm still going to give you the same AJ.
I'm going to work as hard as I can to be the best.
Always working ever since I met y'all, boy.
I got to get your top 5 receivers.
Better, man.
Good. Watch out for us.
Welcome to the Wincinnati podcast. I am Ace. He is Zim. You guys, if you are tuning in right now, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. We appreciate that. That helps grow the channel. But we are going to get into a few topics today. We're going to talk about the coaching hires. Then we're going to get into our mock offseason. So me and Zim will be using FanSpeak's offseason simulator. You guys have seen us use it before. He's going to give his roster on what we should do. I'm going to give mine. We're not going to get into the draft or anything like that. So it's going to strictly be roster moves, and then we're going to get into free agency, and then we're going to recap. Feel free to chime in and let us know your thoughts as we're doing this. But before we get into our first topic, I got to check in with my partner, Zim. Zimothy, how you doing today, Brody? I see you got the orange attacks gear on. You looking fresh over there. Winnethy, my bad, not Zimothy, Winnethy.
Winnethy. When did I write that? That's crazy. I'm feeling good, man. I feel like the tension of the 23 season is just like out the way. Let's wipe our hands clean. Let's go get after it. And I feel like our fan base is feeling a little bit of that. And even like the way I'm tweeting and stuff like that, it's just more relaxed. I'm just having fun, man. And you don't have that tension of, like, oh, are they going to do this? Are they going to do that this weekend? And I know people probably sitting there right now, probably like, man, speak for yourself. Because, it is kind of tense because you do want the Bengals to make the right decisions. But I feel pretty confident. If they didn't have cap space, I would be pretty scared. But I think I'm pretty confident with the last couple of years, what they've done is going to translate and move forward.
Yeah, for sure. So the first thing that we're going to talk about, there's been several coaching hires. So I'm going to talk about the names and the positions, and then we'll dive into them. Brad Kragthorpe. He was an assistant. He's going to be the new quarterbacks coach. We also have Jordan Kovacs. He's going to move over from the linebackers room to the safeties. So he's going to be the secondary coach there for the safeties. The Bengals also added a passing game coordinator in Justin Racati, who comes from the Minnesota Vikings. And then they also hired what's being called an offensive analyst. They got a guy from the Oregon Ducks, Jordan Salkin, accepted the job as an offensive assistant. So that's going to be very interesting there. Let's start off first then with your thoughts on the position coaches. So we got Kragthorpe and we got Kovacs. What are your thoughts on those two guys?
I thought that getting feedback from the players, like Kovacs is a guy that they really love, former player. Everybody loves him. I don't know too much as far as like the background on him, but I know that this was his 5th season on the Bengals coaching staff. He spent 2 past seasons as an assistant linebackers coach, and then that was after he was the defensive quality control coach from 19 to 21. But the players really, really like him. I know he had coaching roles at Michigan at one time. That's his alma mater. He has experience in the Big Ten. He played in the NFL. It wasn't that long ago, but he played with the Dolphins. And I know like some of the players that I know, they like, that's my boy. So, you know what I mean? Like they're really hype about that. Kragthorpe was the guy that everybody thought that was going to get named the now quarterbacks coach because of Pitcher now, going into that. I think the relationship with him is pretty good. Kragthorpe was in 2018 season. He was the offensive analyst at LSU, and he worked with an office that featured, Burrow and Chase. He then had the graduate assistant coach at Utah State University, and that was in 2016, 2017. But moving forward, he did a bunch of stuff, and his first role was an assistant quarterback coach. So he's been kind of working with the coaches, with the quarterbacks anyway, or Joe Burrow. The big one that I'm really, really excited about is Racati. He comes from the Vikings. He spent the last 2 seasons there as the assistant offensive line coach. He previously was the quality control coach with the Denver Broncos from 19 to 21. His path to get there, I think that Zach Taylor probably sees a lot of himself in him because he doesn't come up in like some crazy tree, like Shanahan-like tree like that just catapulted him to the spot, kind of like how Zach was. And I think that's why Zach hired him. I think he sees a lot of himself in it, and I think they feel like they're ahead of the curve with it. Him being in that offense with Justin Jefferson, me being able to see Justin Jefferson line up all over the place for the last couple seasons gives me great hope. His offensive line coordinator background, that part of it too gives me hope as far as the run game coordination. I don't think that Pollock would be mad at it, but I don't think Pollock is happy that now this extra guy is giving input. But I do value this guy's input because that offense that he's coming with Kevin O'Connell, I do think is one of the better offenses in the NFL. And when I watch them play, I'm always amazed at how open Jefferson is. I always like their utilization of the run versus pass and all these different things, or when they set it up, and a lot of different things that I think that they do in the play action portion of it. I think they'll be able to do. I know the last time I did watch the Vikings play, they were still in a lot of shotgun, but I think Dan Pitcher is the guy that's going to probably get them more under center and a lot of stuff that they were running later in the season. Those are the things that I hope. We don't really know, but we do know the information and the guys that they got, and I do like that. I really, really like the last hire with Racati, though.
Yeah, I think Racati, just piggybacking off of what you said, I really like that they brought him in. He is a guy that really helped revamp that Minnesota Vikings offensive line over there. Reading around, a lot of people said that he deserves a lot of credit for that, kind of flew under the radar with that. That means that he can be a guy that can give his insight on maybe the scheme, how they should kind of try to run it, how they should marry the Zach Taylor offense with that blocking scheme, because obviously the Bengals have kind of struggled in that department, jumping from gap scheme to zone scheme and back and forth. Like maybe he's going to be somebody that can come in and add some stability there and maybe add some input to that. I also think the other hire in terms of him being a passing game coordinator, I think that was interesting. I think that the Bengals are kind of doing this thing where they're throwing several people at the potential loss of Callahan. You talk about Jordan Salkin. He's coming in as an offensive assistant. That's dope because he analyzed the offense at Oregon. So he's coming from a different type of system, the college ranks, to bring his input. And I think it's dope that they're going to have people, like you said, from different offenses come in and be able to give their input on a Bengals offense that struggled at times, sometimes last year, especially when it came to the passing game. Definitely struggled when it came to the run game, as you mentioned as well. I'm not going to lie. I was a little bit comforted by what you said about Kovacs, especially the player saying that, because the one thing initially that I said that I didn't want was an internal hire for the secondary. But hearing that the players believe in this guy, hearing that the things that you said that he's played before, that makes me feel a lot more comfortable, at least to give a guy a chance. That's going to be the toughest position, I think, to take on from this coaching staff, because that is the part of the team that struggled the most last season. So I'm interested to see what he does there. Kragthorpe working with Joe Burrow again. It's a familiar face, like you said, with the LSU ties and all of that. So I think that that's dope. And I know that he's also worked with the receivers from time to time as well, working with Troy Walter. So all in all, I do like what the Bengals did. They did lose two of their coaches, but I felt like they kind of bounced back, and they even added to the room and added new positions that they didn't have before, like the passing game coordinator and the offensive assistant. So seeing that they did that, I think is dope. We'll see. I mean, if Frank Pollock can't get it together, Racati might have to take that spot. So we'll see what happens. But all in all, I'm glad with what they did with the coaching moves. I think that we're good there. And I think that they will take a step forward. Now, coming up next, we're going to get Zim Tobin's take on the offseason. So right now, we're going to be using FanSpeak's Manage the Cap tool. So we're going to get this up. Let me see. Zim, can you see Can you see my screen? Is it big enough for you? Pause.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I got you.
All right. So right now, for those that can't see or are listening right now, the Bengals right now are working with $66.7 million in cap space. Zim has got some decisions to make here. Are you going to restructure or cut anybody? So let me sort this by the savings here. Maybe that'll help you make some of these decisions. I'm pretty sure you got a good idea of some of the things that you want to do here, right?
Right. I want to restructure Sam Hubbard.
Restructure Sam Hubbard. Boom.
I would like to restructure also Trey Hendrickson.
All right, we're going to restructure Trey Hendrickson.
I have a thought on it. I've done this with the Joe Mixon one before, is where I cut and I get him back. Mm-hmm. I feel like I could try it again, but if I don't get him back, I'm going to be kind of pissed.
So you want to cut Joe?
Yeah, because it doesn't give us the restructure option, which
with the hope of trying to sign Joe back. So understand Zim is cutting him with the intention of bringing him back on the low.
They're gonna be like, you Mixon cutter, because it should be, they're gonna give him a huge signing bonus coming up, but there's a way where they could give him even more and cut down somebody. So yeah, that's it for. I need to cut Nick Scott.
All right, Nick Scott is cut. That's it. That's all we're doing. Right?
Now let me cut Trey Hill too.
All right, Trey Hill's up out of here. All right.
But now let's that's all that we need to do right now.
All right, so we've got our cuts in for those at home that didn't hear. Trey Hendrickson and Sam Hubbard are restructured. He cut Joe Mixon with the caveat that he wants to bring him back on a lesser deal, and cut Nick Scott. So we're gonna move on to free agency. All right, so got a lot going on right now, some notable ones. Marlon Humphrey restructured. It looks like Roquan restructured, Lamar restructured. I mean, they're going to have to do that. But let's move on to the next start of free agency. All right, so now we're at the spot where you re-sign or tag players. We've got Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, Irv Smith, Jonah, DJ Reader, Cheeto, and Joe Mixon.
Okay, I'm going to try to re-sign Joe Mixon.
All right, re-signing Joe Mixon, money per year. What you got?
We're going to do $4.8 million per year.
All right, $4.8 million. 1 year?
I'm going to do it on a 2 year.
2 year. How much you guaranteeing?
I'm going to guarantee 50% of it. So I'm pretty much guaranteeing the whole first year right now. So we're going to offer that.
Offer accepted. Joe Mixon is back in the fold.
Okay, I'm going to re-sign T. Higgins.
All right. Money per year.
Yeah, the money per year, we're going to offer him $23 million per year. We're going to have it at 4 years.
Okay.
And then we're going to guarantee 50% of it.
All right.
So I'm pretty much giving him the first 2 years of the contract.
T. Higgins accepts.
All right. We're not bringing DJ Reader.
DJ Reader.
We're going to offer him, I don't know if this is going to work, but this is what I feel like his value is right now currently. But I'm going to put it at $9.8 million. Even that's kind of high to me. We're going to do it on a 2 year deal. And then I'm going to guarantee 60% of it.
Let's see. Oh. Didn't see if he accepted it.
All right, let's do it. I guess he. Let me try again.
All right.
Let me get. I'm gonna do 10 point. God, see, it's so crazy. I think it hasn't adjusted to the fact that he's injured. All right, 10.4, which is high. 2 years, and I'm gonna guarantee 60% of it.
Offer rejected.
All right, we got to go to free agency.
All right, we're going to free agency, baby.
That's crazy.
Let's get it. All right. We're in free agency. Just some notable things. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was re-signed. AJ Dillon was re-signed. Jeff Okudah.
Look at that Geno Stone contract. 1 year for $3 million.
$3 million. That's crazy. Andrew Billings re-signed.
He get $2 million per.
L'Jarius Sneed was re-signed by the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know
That's
how
crazy.
the Chiefs did that.
Willie Gay Jr. got re-signed to the Chiefs as well. Carl Lawson got re-signed to the Jets, which is not happening.
Chase Young re-signed with San Francisco. That's something to take note of.
Okay.
So yeah.
Right. So I've got hella cap space. I got almost
68.8 million right now. The signed players are Joe Mixon with a cap hit of 3.8 million. T. Higgins. Since you signed him to that deal, no $22 or $23 million cap figure. It's a cap hit of 16 million. So now you're in the building, Zim.
For people following at home too, the cap hit, they're assuming that I'm giving a signing bonus of X amount of money or the percentage of what I've offered. So if you're wondering why is that number low, that's not his APY. That's not what he's making per year. T. Higgins, I gave him $23 million a year. I don't know if y'all saw this, but we're filming this on February 15th. Amon St. Ra, he signed for, or he's about to sign for 25 per. I think T. Higgins is lessening his value a little bit because of the last season, but I just want to give a little bit of context to the cap hit versus what they're actually making.
All right, my brother. You are on the board right now, day one of free agency. Where are we going first?
I should do something wild like Chris Jones, but I'm not. I'm gonna go from category to category. Click running back for me, please.
All right.
Even though this is not a priority of mine at all.
We got Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, Tony Pollard, Derrick Henry, DeAndre Swift, Zach Moss, Antonio Gibson.
Let me get
Dalvin Cook. CEH.
No, thank you. I'm gonna make an offer to I'm gonna do this early. Antonio Gibson.
All right, Antonio Gibson. We're gonna make an offer.
I'm sorry. Back out of Zach Moss. My bad.
Zach Moss. All right.
I forgot I got mixed in so I can catch passes. Give me Zach Moss. I'm gonna give me a strong runner.
All right.
Okay. This offer is gonna be 3.2 million on. I don't even know if I need to offer him that. No, let's go lower than that. Let's go 2.8 million. Okay. And we're going to do this for 2 years, and we're going to guarantee 50%.
All right. Offer for Zach Moss is in.
All right, let me see. I don't care. I'm not getting no wide receivers, no fullbacks. Let me see tight end.
Tight end, we got Hunter Henry. We got Gerald Everett, Dalton Schultz, Mike Gesicki, Noah Fant, CJ Uzama.
Gerald Everett is the guy that I want. I'm going to offer to him. I'm going to make an offer to Gerald Everett. We're going to do, let's do 6.4 million. 6.4. I'm going to do this on a 3-year deal, and I'm going to guarantee 35% of the deal.
All right. Offer in to Gerald Everett.
Also on tight end, I don't know what his value is. What I really want on Kobe Parkinson. This will allow me to get away from but let me make him an offer too. I don't know what his real market is. I'm gonna just throw this out there, but give me $4.2 million. I think he's probably making more than that because he's young. But that's on a 2-year deal, and I'm gonna guarantee 50% of it.
All right. That offer is in. Tight end.
Okay. Remember, I got hella cap. So now let's go to offensive tackle. I'm coming out guns a-blazing.
Offensive tackle, we got Austin Jackson, Mekhi Becton, Trent Brown, Tyron Smith, Isaiah Wynn, Donovan Smith.
You know what time it is. You know what time it is. Trent Brown season.
Trent Brown season.
So I hear a lot of people on the internet that don't value Trent Brown the same way that I do. Trent Brown will be the highest paid offensive lineman on the Bengals by far. All the off the field stuff I do not care about. He has an 84 pass blocking grade. Has given up way less sacks and pressures than whoever you can name for me. He's 30 years old, so ideally this is a short-term fix. But I'm going to give him $6 million.
Somebody said I offered Jared Everett $644,000. I'm gonna have to try to fix that. That's what somebody is saying.
He'll still be there next day anyway. So we're gonna do a 2-year deal on this one.
Hopefully, it wasn't 644 million, which that would be rejected because we don't even have that much.
Actually, who am I offering? I forgot. Who is this? Who is this?
Trent Brown.
Trent Brown. All right, 2-year. We're gonna guarantee. I'm gonna guarantee Trent 70% of this.
All right. Offer for Trent Brown in. Anybody
right,
else?
Let me go to guards. Nah, no more tackles for today. Once I get one tackle, I'm done. That's my line of thinking because I'm headed to the draft. And if there's somebody sitting there saying, "Oh, well, I don't want the tackle," I'm going to the draft, and I'm not forced to make that pick.
Connor Williams, Andres Pete.
Where's Dotson at?
Robert Hunt, Kevin Dotson.
Give me Kevin Dotson. I want to upgrade over Wilson. I want a guy that just had one of the best seasons of his career just now. I think was the best with the Rams. I'm gonna offer him $3.8 million. I'm lowballing him, which I don't think he's going to take, but we're going to do a little strategy here. We're going to offer him a 3-year deal, and then I'm going to guarantee 90% of it. Now, mind you, also, too, just so y'all know how I'm thinking, I'm operating out of the next 2 years. A lot of these deals I'm offering these guys that are older, I'm in a 2-year window because the cap hits of Joe Burrow don't really hit for like another 2 years. And then that's the same thing. It'll be going up against a hypothetical when you go to sign Jamar Chase, whether that's this offseason or next offseason. So a lot of guys that are older, I'm going in this 2-year window like a Trent Brown. If they're younger, I'm trying to extend it out and give myself out. So offensive line, so we did that. Let me see linebackers real quick.
Linebackers, you got Devin White, Isaiah Simmons, Bobby Wagner, Al Shire.
Go down there. I need some speed though. I'm trying to.
All right, we got Devin Bush, Drew Tranquil, Zach Cunningham.
Give me Drew Tranquil. Let's see if we could do something. We're gonna make an offer for him for $2.8 million. He's a Super Bowl champion, but I don't think FanSpeak knows that yet, or 2-time now. We're gonna offer him a 2-year deal. Actually, a 3-year deal. 3-year deal. And then we're going to guarantee 80% of this deal, which is unheard of from a Bengals front office, but I want to really land this one. Okay. All right. Let me see cornerback, even though I don't think I'm going to do anything. I really would trade for one.
Cornerback, we got CJ Henderson, we got Kenny Moore, Christian Fulton, Stephon Gilmore, Cheeto, Sean Murphy Bunting, Steven Nelson, amongst others.
Nah, let me see safeties. Forget that.
All right, safeties. We got Harrison Smith, Antoine Winfield Jr., Grant Delpit, Cam Curl.
All
right.
Cam Curl. All right, so this is a big signing for me. Oh, I skipped D tackles. But 7, I'm gonna offer Cam Curl $6.9 million, 3 years, and I'm guaranteeing 70% of it.
All right. You mentioned D tackle. Let's go back.
Yeah, I skipped D tackle. All right, so
Leonard Williams, Chris Jones, Christian Wilkins, DJ Reader.
I want to go crazy since I got so much damn money. I feel like we didn't get Reader, so let's go to. I'm gonna go get the best. It's not gonna be Chris Jones. Let's go. Give me
Justin
this is what I'm gonna do. We're gonna try to go get a big fish, and if it doesn't land, we're gonna come back later and we're gonna try to stockpile the room. But let me go Leonard Williams. I feel like he can give us a lot more run stuff and whatever. Let's go. I don't even know what he wants in the open market, but I'm gonna offer him $12.5 million. I think I'm severely low. I feel like he's right 14, 16. All right, but let's do a 3-year deal. And I'm gonna guarantee, like if I'm unsure, I just give him more guarantees. Give him a 90%. I feel like that's super low. All right, go down again. I need to get somebody else. Just let's go Tierra Tart because we know that the Bengals do like Tierra Tart. They put in a waiver claim for him. We're gonna go Tierra Tart. We're gonna go 4.2 million. No. 3.8 million. We're gonna do a 3-year deal on this one, and we're gonna guarantee 60% of the contract. And now we can go. I'm ready to go to the next thing. I know a lot of people are big on the punter stuff. I see that in a lot of people's mocks. I don't really care about that.
All right. Damn. So Zach Moss declined your offer. Gerald Everett declined your offer. Kobe Parkinson accepted your offer of 2 years, $4.2 million a year. Looks like Trent Brown accepted your offer with the 2 years of $6 million per year. Kevin Dotson declined. Leonard Williams declined. Basically, everybody else declined.
Basically, everybody else declined. Jeez.
So let's move on to the next day. But these guys still, I don't believe, haven't signed with anybody else.
So currently, right now, I've re-signed Joe Mixon, T. Higgins, Kobe Parkinson, the tight end is a nice piece. Y'all gotta go watch some Kobe Parkinson tape. 6'7", big monster tight end, big body tight end, and we got Trent Brown. We have a right tackle, so we go into the draft, and we're not pigeonholing ourselves in that one spot. Got to go back to D tackle because I feel like that is now that people are not accepting. All right, Leonard Williams might be out of my range. Let's go to Sheldon Rankins. I feel like this is the guy that can give us the 3 tech that we're looking for. I'm not gonna play around with these boys. I'm going $9.4 million. I'm gonna go on a 3-year deal, and I'm guaranteeing 60% of it. Sheldon's getting a little older in the tooth.
All right. You want to go back to Gerald Everett?
I am in a second. Yeah, we're gonna double tight end this thing. The only thing is in the draft. See, Parkinson now lets me. It now makes
if Parkinson is cool and you want to move off of that. I just wanted to say that just because I think I made the wrong offer. So if whichever way you want to move.
I heard you. Okay, I got you. Let me go. I'm gonna make an offer to Sheldon Rankin. Oh, I already did that. I'm gonna go back to Tierra Tart.
Okay.
I don't remember what I offered him, but I'm gonna offer him a little bit more now. Let's go $5.4 million, and I'm gonna offer it for 2 years, and I'm gonna guarantee 70% of it.
All right, offer is in the Tierra Tart.
I need bodies because if these dudes if they decline this too, I need more. Can you go down a little bit more, please?
Yes, sir.
Cam Hayward, free agent. We should go get Cam Hayward old ass. No, I'm joking. I'm gonna come back and go get some of these old bums later. Like, is Calais Campbell's gone? Sheesh.
Calais Campbell.
I wanted a big run stuff in whatever. He probably did. So we went Tart. I'm gonna go a little crazy though. Let's make no. I'm gonna wait till next round if this doesn't happen. I got another plan too. All right, let me see because I didn't get the linebacker. Let me see the linebackers.
All right.
And y'all notice I haven't really looked at edge. I just don't think the Bengals will be looking at that. And you're talking about signing the edge. I'm gonna look at edge, but I don't know. Let's go. I'm gonna go back to Tranquil. Okay. I remember I offered him 2.8, so I know I'm gonna go a little bit higher than that. I'm gonna offer him 3.6, and I'm gonna offer it for 2 years. And if you guys are commenting in the audience, I can't see it because I got my thing on full screen. So if there's anybody that y'all feel like I'm missing, I'm gonna check out those.
Ken Law.
That's somebody I can come back a little bit later, unless somebody picks them up early. This is day 1, day 2 of free agency. All right, so then on this one, let's guarantee 80% of this.
All right, Drew Tranquil offer is in.
All right, now go back to guard. I really want to get Dotson. I'm gonna try to do this thing again. I'm gonna go back to Dotson.
All right, back to Kevin Dotson. We're gonna make him an offer.
We're gonna make an offer. This is the tricky part because I'm thinking realistic. If I'm the Bengals, I want to pay a guard starting money, but at the same time, I don't want it to be too crazy because I'm already playing Bolson rookie contract money, which is not BS money, but it's pretty good money. So you got to keep it kind of realistic. I'm gonna offer this dude $5 million on a 1 year, 100% guaranteed. We're going to see if this works. Now, if you're Kevin Dotson in the real world, you could offer that. You're probably saying, no, I just had a great season. No way I'm signing a 1 year. All right. Tight end. I'm going to try to go get Gerald Everett. Now, this would take away. We got pass catching, but I'm gonna go with that offer that I was saying of like 6.4. I think. And then we're going to do that on a 3-year deal and guarantee 80% of it. All right, let me see something. So I did my D tackles, got that. Corners. Let me go back to safety. I'm going to go instead of Cam Curl. Maybe I shot my shot too crazy. Let's just go. I do like Jeremy Chin. The process of me doing safety, everybody watching saying, hey, we got Dax Hill. I just want somebody that's a little bit more short-handed. I'm going to put Dax Hill in more hybrid roles is my line of thinking. I'm going to go, let's go Jeremy Chin, and I'm going to offer him 5.2. I don't think this is going to work either. I don't really know some of these guys' market, but to me, this is standard safety money. 2 years, guaranteed 50%.
All right. Jeremy Chin deal is in.
Running back. Let me see that one more time. I thought Zach Moss would be perfect with Mixon, and then you got Chase Brown. You go to draft, you don't even care. You're just taking a flyer on a guy. I don't like any of those guys down there at all. I think they all suck. The only one, I mean, we could go crazy with Saquon, but I already signed Mixon, so it's no point.
Yeah.
Let's just go to the next day and just see what. Yeah, we can go to the next day for the spirit of everybody watching this. This is a lot. Now we're doing this live, baby.
So Gerald Everett declined your offer and accepted
He's a bum.
4-year, $9.3 million a year offer from the Commanders. Kevin Dotson accepted your 1-year offer of $5 million. Sheldon Rankins accepted your offer of 3 years, $9.4 million. Tier Tart accepted your 2-year offer for $5.4 million. Drew Tranquil accepted your 2-year offer for $3.6 million. The only other person that declined was Jeremy Chin. Zim was in the lab cooking up.
We're looking good. I think the tight ends. I think I'm at the point I want to take a look. Well, now we got $41 million in cap space. We got some big boy. The big boy of Christian Wilkins is now off the board, I think, right? Oh no, he's still
Christian
there.
Wilkins is still there.
We just added Sheldon Rankins.
Sheldon Rankins though,
and Tier Tart.
You have Tier Tart.
And in real life, I will try to spin the block with DJ Reader. He looks like he's already picked up on here. I just don't see it playing out like that in real life. But he's still there. Let me see Edge. I'm gonna see if I could do it.
Brian Burns, Josh Allen, Yannick Ngakoue, Charles Harris, Derek Barnett, Dante Fowler, Jadeveon Clowney, Romeo Okwara.
Let's do something. Let's do. I'm gonna take a flyer on Solomon Thomas, just to bulk up something in the room. Let's go 2.9, 1 year. Even that's kind of high for the Bengals, I feel like. But 100% guaranteed.
All right, offer in for Solomon Thomas.
One of the things that if you're watching this too, or you're listening, I don't know the market value on some of these guys that I've never looked at, but I do think like as I'm constructing the roster, I could see how they could fit into the spot. So some of the guys that I've offered before, I kind of understood where they were at. Some of these guys I'm offering, I don't know how the league really feels about Solomon Thomas at this point. I think the Bengals, for me, would take him at a $2-point-something million contract, and you have him as a rotational piece. Knowing what I know about the Bengals, they are not interested in paying anybody starting level money to do anything
So just to let you know, some of the recommendations from people in here.
I saw Winfield. Let's go
Somebody
Winfield.
saying Bryce Huff, Brian Burns at $12 million a year is what Yash is saying. We need interior pass rush. Justin
Burns is
Madubuike.
gone.
Let's see what else.
Burns is gone. And this is the thing about the edge too. You
Xavier
just
McKinney.
remember in this, I just restructured Henderson and Hubbard. And I'm banking on Miles Murphy being better, and I'm banking on Osai giving me something. And that's why I'm trying to throw like another edge guy there just as part of the rotation. I don't think the Bengals in real life would throw any money at the edge position because of the money that they've already, or the draft capital that they've already invested into it. Unless somebody Orlando Brown them and said, I need to get on your roster. Sure. I did the Solomon Thomas one. I got Drew Tranquil. So let me go to the safeties again. I'm gonna listen to, I don't know who said that in the crowd, but I'm gonna go with the Antoine Winfield. Antoine Winfield is like the number one safety prospect. But let's just do this.
Antoine Winfield made a call like Orlando Brown. What can you do for me to end up in strike?
They're not going to pay Dax Hill that money and Antoine Winfield. Like if there was like a mid-level guy like Mike Edwards or something, I'm gonna just do this because somebody requested it. But let's just do $8 million for 4 years. Yeah, he's the number one. This dude probably wants like $12 million, and we're going to guarantee 80% of it. Didn't somebody say they said, man, offer him like $12 million or something like that? I'm not giving dude $12 million.
Yep.
All right, we can go to the next day.
That's I can do for you, my boy.
We could go to the next day.
Both declined offers, Solomon Thomas as well as Antoine Winfield.
You bums, you weren't even strike material.
Clowney accepted a 2-year offer to the Chiefs.
Brian Burns, let's look at some of this. Brian Burns got the $21 million for 3 years. I would have gave him that.
Titans, yeah.
I would have given him that. Will Clapp, he's gone.
That's who you should have signed immediately. That should have been your first sign.
Will Clapp Bengals jersey selling out the stores. Telling you that right now. Let's go back to safety. I'm going to go back to my original guy, Cam Curl. How you doing? Let's do this. We're going to get for real. $7.8 million on a 4-year deal, which is absurd. I don't got the Bengals doing that, but we're going to guarantee 50% of it. Right. Remember, the 2-year window of Burrow is very important to this whole conversation. I got my tackle. I got my D-line. I'm low-key kind of cooking. I'm not even paying attention. Let me see the tight ends real quick again.
Cooking right now. Noah Fant still out there.
Let's do it. Let's go Noah Fant. We're going to double up on tight end. We're going to give him an offer he can't refuse. Let's go $7 million. $7 million on a 3-year deal. And I'm going to guarantee 70% of it.
Noah Fant offer is in.
Let's go to the next day.
All right.
I'm getting towards the end of
both boys accepted Noah.
We're out of there. We're headed to the draft. See ya. We out of there. And we got $30 million left in cap. Now, mind you, in this exercise, if T. Higgins is tagged, this is something that you could look at and you wouldn't have $30 million left. But the people that say that T. Higgins is holding back all of this stuff, you're listening to the wrong people. The Bengals should be filling in their roster with legit talent. Some of these guys are probably a little older than what I think the Bengals would like to throw that type of money at, but I did it for the sake of this is what I would do. Cam Curl, if y'all never seen him, I keep on telling everybody about this guy. Cam Curl is one of my favorite safeties in the NFL because he plays the way that the game used to play. He's really, really fast. He's short-handed. He can cover. He can tackle. He can do it all. Then you take Dax Hill as a chess piece and you're moving them all around. You have depth at the position. You really don't have much depth behind him at all. The one thing that I didn't satisfy in this whole ordeal, I thought was the cornerback position. But I thought that the cornerbacks that were available, I just don't see in real life anybody offering them real money. After the draft, if I don't take a corner, in this scenario, I'm taking a corner within the first 3 rounds to give myself depth. I might even entertain taking a corner first round because remember, Now I'm not starving for a D tackle. I'm not starving for a tight end, and I'm not starving for a right tackle. If the best cornerback is on the board, if that's the kid, God damn it, it could be Kool-Aid. It could be it's the other kid I really like more than him. Anyway, it could be one of those guys. I'm now looking at that and saying that that's a real possibility because every single thing that I've done, I've satisfied all of the roster holes. And that to me is how the Bengals or any organization should be headed to the draft so that now you're in a position to take BPA. Trent Brown, you might be listening right now, said, I don't really like him. I think he's lazy. I think he's fat. He's a competent right tackle. He's an upgrade over what you had, and he gives you the ability to walk in the draft, and I don't have to Billy Price my situation. Sheldon Rankins is not giving me the two gap that I want from DJ Reader. So when I go to the draft, guys like T'Vondre Sweat from Texas, I'm really honing in on that. I might even move up for him in the second round because I did nothing in this exercise really to go get me a nose. So now, you know what I'm saying? But I did give myself good D tackles. And I don't want people to really pay attention to the names as much. You can, whatever. But to me, the exercise is more about like how I feel about the draft and why free agency is so important in this part of the Bengals season and at this time of our lives of being a Bengal fan. You're not going to have 2 years from now, just like the Chiefs did all those defensive guys. We're going to be walking into that 2 years from now where you're not getting free agents and you're banking on all of your draft picks hitting and hitting and hitting. And these guys that I signed, they're all on 2 year, 3 year deals. If y'all paid attention to everything. So all that money's cleared off the books. So by the time that I get into that window, when I don't have the cap space that we have now, I'm now freeing myself up to now do a soft reboot on the fly. All these different things. Because the only thing I do know is Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase going to be on this roster. And anything else, I don't really know. But this gets me in my window of prime Joe Burrow, in my window of prime Jamar Chase. My last year, we did T. Higgins on a 4 year, but that's what this is about to me. It's like I see this too often is about how people be like, how are you not going to draft a right tackle first round? How are you not? If you're thinking like that, that's how you ended up with Billy Price. And I always say that because I learned from that because we were so thirsty for a center. We were so thirsty for a tight end last year, and we missed them, and I wish we would have got one. But, you know, this is my philosophy, and this is how I feel on the draft. And I thought we cooked. I thought we did a real good damn job. Is there a hole that you could see that we still have on the Bengals currently right now going into the draft?
No, I don't see one. I think Zim, you did a great job on this. I will point out though, that's the big reason why you should extend T over tagging him. Because with that extra $7 million, you're able to get a Trent Brown and Kobe Parkinson. That could be the difference between a Sheldon Rankins. That could be the difference between a Tierra Tart, a Noah Fant, a Cam Curl, because it gives you more flexibility to be able to do that. So that was a big part. And then also the Joe Mixon, quote unquote, restructure, unofficial restructure that you did as well. That also saves some money. But these are things that the Bengals can do that they are able to make happen. And this also for those at home just wondering, like, because I'm going to hit this, skip the rest of free agency. This is still, ladies and gentlemen, and this is using over the cap with space reserved for draft picks, carryover, $10 million, and all of that. So even with that, Zim still has $30.7 million remaining after that.
I need to screenshot this. Did you screenshot this? I'm cooking. I need to show the world this.
Just to recap for those at home, he restructured Trey Hendrickson and Sam Hubbard. That freed up a lot of money. Cut Joe Mixon, brought Joe Mixon back, but cut Nick Scott, Trey Hill, let those guys go. Ended up signing Joe Mixon, T. Higgins, Kobe Parkinson, Trent Brown, Kevin Dotson, Sheldon Rankins, Tierra Tart, Drew Tranquil, Noah Fant, and Cameron Curl. I'm going to do mine next episode because Zim just cooked the whole episode. So I didn't want to stop the cooking from happening. He did an amazing job there. But speaking of cooking,
can I answer just two quick questions before we go to that real quick? One person said the cornerback position. That is a huge concern too. I do feel like that, but you do have DJ Turner and you do have Cam Taylor-Britt on the outside. You still got another year of Mike Hilton or another 2 years or something, right? Or just 1 year of Mike Hilton. So it's not that for me, I was trying to go to the draft without whatever. Were there cornerbacks that I liked in there? Yes, but I just didn't see the Bengals paying none of them dudes like starting level money for some of the guys that I saw. There were some depth guys that I think you could go and pick. The other one that somebody asked too is who's your wide receiver 3? I'm banking on Yoshi, and this is a deep wide receiver draft. You got Charlie Jones there too. You don't know about him, and I do think that they'll bring back Trent Irwin. And the other thing was the wide receiver class is so deep. I think that the Bengals would take another wide receiver before round 4, and that might be my wide receiver 3 that battles it out with Yoshi. I just had to say that to go into this.
Yep, and speaking of CTB, let's toss it to our good friends at Midwest Best Barbecue with the CTB wings.
Wings and them CTBs. Midwest Best is the place to be for queuing wings. Midwest Best is the place to be for queuing wings. It's the Ace to the Zim, M into the B's. Uno wings, Jeep on wings, and them CTBs. Midwest Best is the place to be for queuing wings. Midwest Best is the place to be for queuing wings. Say what up to Jordan Battle. We be going to battle. Intercepting balls like CTB did on Seattle. Putting 6 up on AZ. Juice gang amazing. Make sure you come get these wings. The Zim stay blazing. And T-Game be smooth as ice. Jamal making divas fold. TV got big levels. And now you already know. Hits are pretty for Uno wings. Cam got the new wings. We call them CTBs. Only at MBs. Asian to the Zim. M into the B's.
Man, that joint is so fire. Shout out to Midwest Best 669 Justice Court in Loveland, Ohio. Be sure to stop in and let them know H&M sent you. Go get some of those CTB wings. For those who don't know, it's a lemon pepper and buffalo combination. It's fire. The food is fire. Brisket, pulled pork, whatever you like, they got it there at Midwest Best Barbecue. Make sure you stop in and let them know Ace and Zim sent you. Zimmy, was there anything that you wanted to say before we get out of here?
I think some people already missed the beginning of the show, but one of the things with T. Higgins, someone said, well, how did you get him for 16? The cap hit is 16. I gave T. Higgins $23 million per, but I guaranteed a good portion of the deal, which lessens the cap hit because I'm giving him cash up front. And so that's why you saw 16 million as the cap hit. And that's the reason why Ace has probably been one of the biggest proponents of y'all got to restructure. I mean, we need to sign T to an extension. And that's a real thing because it gives you the flexibility. This fan speak one or this draft, or this free agent simulator does miss out on a couple little small details. But that is the advantage of doing it. But the real life thing that's going on is, unless anything has changed, his agent is not trying to go. Like, I gave T. Higgins 50% of the contract, like, guaranteed. Now, it could have changed now that T. Higgins played a season where he was pretty much hurt. So maybe that's more realistic. But to my knowledge, before last season, he was looking for more guaranteed. I think the Jesse Bates contract is like 60-something% guaranteed. So I think he might have been looking for something maybe around that range or something like that. And keep in mind, his agent is a big proponent of fully guaranteed contracts that got like the Deshaun Watson contract and all these different things like that. So that's the reason why people say, well, look at the cap hit. Why don't you just extend them? It's not that simple because of the agent. And yes, I'm giving him $23 million a year. But say in year 2, he doesn't have a really good year, and then the Bengals say adios. Remember, in that exercise we just did, I just guaranteed 50% of the contract and gave myself an out in year 3 or 4. So his agent would say, I don't want that. I want guaranteed 1, 2, and 3 of the deal. And the Bengals would be like, that's kind of absurd. So that's what the conversation is. He's 24 years old, multiple 1,000-yard receiver. The article came out this past week. Paul Dana Jr. made a good report on this too. Y'all got to go check that out. But he pretty much said that this tag is happening. And that doesn't mean that an extension isn't about to happen too. you can't rule it out. But there's also speculation that they're going to tag early. The deadline, the upcoming deadlines for tags are coming up really soon, a lot sooner than you think. So they're going to do this thing, and that was his report pretty much that this is happening. So.
Yes, sir. Well, that wraps it up. Definitely be sure to follow us on Twitter at ZimHuday, at New Stripe City, at Wincinnati Pod on Twitter. We also go live on there as well. You can also catch us in the Bengals Twitter Spaces at the top of the screen if you're watching this on Twitter. We appreciate that. Thank you guys for listening. This has been the Wincinnati Podcast.
It's an exciting time to be a Bengals fan.
I'm Ace. We
got a special show as always.
the voice of the Bengals. Ford, Willie Anderson, Corey Dillon.
The name of this thing is called Wincinnati, and I'm not going to stop.
Talk to us about that roller coaster season.
I'm still gonna give you the same AJ.
I'm gonna work as hard as I can to be the best.
Always working ever since I met y'all, boy.
I got to get your top 5 receivers.
Better, man. It was good. Be real. Watch out for us.